It is going live. And we're live. We're good.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy that you're here to spend some time with me tonight. And I'm going to talk about the wild horses. I'm going to talk about the artwork that I have behind me and tell stories about the horses. And I am also really eager to answer your questions. So if you will post questions, Juan is here helping me. Well, he's not here, but he's online with me, and he's helping me by running the show, and he'll read your comments and ask me the questions, and I'll respond. So I really enjoy interacting and answering questions, and I'm happy to do it. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to talk about these pieces as I go. So this is a brand new piece that I'm so excited about. This is Tyr Runs in the Snow. And he's a wild stallion in Stewart Creek, which is in the Red Desert Complex in Wyoming, near Rollins. And his family I saw for the first time this year, and is a very colorful family. And I was lucky enough to be out in October when there was a snowfall. And he took off running with his family. And I just love snow pictures. They're really fun. So I've known him actually for about 4 or 5 years. And he was with another band, and his dad, who's a beautiful Palomino, kicked him out of the family right before the roundup. And so Tyr did not get captured, and he found a new family for himself. So that's always a nice thing. So this is Tyr Runs in the Snow.
Carol, remember about the sales instructions for both Instagram and Facebook. That's something important to mention.
Yes. So if you're on Instagram, go to the link in my profile, and then you'll see where to shop the sale. And then here we have, so on Facebook, I have on each page, I've got the link. And do we have the link in here too?
In the description of the video for both Facebook and YouTube, we have the link to shop as well.
The link to shop. So you'll see all of these pieces that are here, and you'll be able to purchase them if you like. And I try to make this as affordable as possible for people. There are a lot of very small pieces in the show, and they're priced half price or less, or more off, so that everybody could get some cute and wonderful artwork for the holidays. And then the large pieces that I have in the sale are all 50% off. So they're quite a bit less than normal prices. And then I have packages of calendars and books, which I'll talk a little bit more about as we go on. Oh, also shipping. People have been asking me already, sending me emails and messages about shipping. So everything here is here. And I will be shipping it personally. Probably take me about a week to get everything shipped out, but you'll get it way in time for Christmas, which is a really good thing. Okay, here we go. We have the Blue Zeus book and calendar package. So this is my brand new book this year about Blue Zeus. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then this is a Picasso calendar. And I have so it's all pictures of Picasso from San Marcos Basin. And I also have a Blue Zeus calendar. And you can buy the calendars individually or with the book. So, face to face, let's see. This is a print I took a very long time ago in McCullough Peaks. And this is foals from 2 different families. This is a filly from Indigo's family. And then this is a colt from Washakie's family. And they're meeting here. And it's 11 by 14 gallery wrap canvas. And do you want me to say the prices, or is it good enough having them up on the banner?
I mean, it's good to remind people the prices as well is
Okay.
based on 50% off and so on. So I think it's very good to let them know what's the price for this sale. Okay.
Okay, so
If you need my help, I have them handy. Okay.
this one's $95. And the Wild Family. So this is one of my very favorite pieces, and it was taken in Palomino Butte in Oregon. And this beautiful horse is a mare, and her 1-year-old, and then her young colt standing together. And it was just as the sun was coming out. And I had never been to this area before. I didn't know these horses, but as I approached, they were all curious, and they came close, and they let me spend some time with them. And I always feel that that's a tremendous gift when wild horses allow me to spend time with them, because they could certainly move away quickly and I wouldn't be able to see them. So yeah, it has a very lovely, soft feel to it. And it's a metal print. So you can see in the back, that's how it hangs. And the price on this one is $145.
Carol, we have someone in the comments saying if you can come closer to the camera when you're showing the pieces, it's going to be better.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Yep,
Hopefully.
that's way better.
Okay. I'll do that. I promise. Let's see. What next? Oh, Washakie's portrait. So this is one of my favorite stallions of all time, Washakie. And he was born in 2000, and he disappeared this year. So, but I met him in 2006, and he had just won his first mare. And so I went out in McCullough Peaks for years following him and seeing him as his family grew and changed. And he lost his family during the roundup of 2009. And then he had a couple years off where he got really fat and with no family to take care of. And then in 2011, he got a new family and spent time with them. And he lost his family, as wild stallions do when they get older, in 2016. And he actually, this last year, found a young mare and her foal and took care of them until he disappeared. And so he had one last family, which was really wonderful. So this is Washakie's portrait, and it's 16 by 24, and it is $250. And I'm going to skip one and go, since we're talking about Washakie, to this one.
Carol, I have one little thing. Is it possible to lower the frame on the computer a little bit? Because when you're coming closer, the pieces are getting like cut in half. Is it possible?
Or I could just raise it.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
I'm happy to do that.
You got it.
So this is Washakie's dance. And this is him posturing as another stallion gets a little too close to his family. And this one is 16 by 20, and it's $145. Let's see, I'm going to put this here. It's a little easier. Okay, and then I promised I would talk about the book. So this is a coffee table book I did this year about Blue Zeus. And so I met him in 2018 out in the Red Desert Complex in Arapahoe Creek with his family. And I thought he was the most extraordinarily beautiful horse I'd ever seen in my life. And I spent time with him for 2 years before there was a roundup. And he and his family were captured and separated. And I asked Claire of Sky Dog Sanctuary if she would take the family and that I would help find them and identify them. And I did that, and they've been reunited there. So although not all the family members are there, many are. And this is something that doesn't happen to other wild horses. Most wild horses never get to see their family members again. So that's a good thing. So I basically have documented his life with his family. And one of the stories that I enjoy the most about spending time with him was he and his family stopped, and in the mid-morning, wild horses families often take naps, especially if there's young foals in the group. And Blue Zeus was standing separate from his family. I think he wanted some alone time. He wasn't too far away. But then slowly, Fire, his red and white pinto colt, comes over to him, and he puts his ears back, and Fire's like, "Oh, don't hurt me." And then all of a sudden, the horses all started coming toward him. Nike started coming toward him. He pinned his ears. And then they all ended up surrounding him. And he's like, oh, he just needed a little alone time. But then everybody settled down, and they were, 3 of the mares were touching him. And, the family is so close. These horses love each other. And so that's why it's so tragic when we see horses removed from their families. But I wanted to show how beautiful that bond is. So that was a lot of why I did the book. So anyway, that's it for that. So any questions as we're going along?
Not so far.
Okay. I bet you'll think of some sometime. So this is an older piece of mine, and these are not wild horses, but it's a great holiday piece. It's Two Appaloosas, and it's 12 by 18. And these are Appaloosas running in the snow in northern Wyoming. As I said, I love snow pictures. And this one is 125. So the 12 by 18s are 125. The 16 by 20s are 145, which is a huge price drop. And what's next? Wild Snow Stallion. So this is another snow piece that I absolutely love. This was taken in Adobe Town, and this beautiful wild stallion was standing in front of this gorgeous Kinney rim, which is a rim out there in Adobe Town. And this is an 11 by 14 for $95.
Okay, so we have a few questions. Sharon is asking, where do you take these photos? I think that's an interesting question, because we most likely have. Where do you take the photos? Yeah.
Okay, so this last one, as I said, was in Adobe Town. Oops, sorry, that's my earpiece for Instagram. The Washakie pictures were McCullough Peaks in Wyoming, northern Wyoming. And the Stewart Creek is in Wyoming near Rollins. So I'll make sure and say where each area is that the horses are from.
Awesome. And we also have a question from Melinda asking, how much is the book?
Oh, the book is $50. And yeah. And then, as I said, we have packages with the book and the calendars, or the book and other books that are cheaper than the list price for each book, or the book and the calendar. And so everything here is going to ship with no additional shipping, with no shipping charge. So the price that you pay is the price that you pay, and there's no shipping in the US. So if there are some people watching here from Europe or other countries, just message me, and I can give you, if you give me your address, I can give you the shipping cost. but in the US, it's all included. It's free. Okay, flying at sunrise. So I'm sorry, Instagram, you won't be able to see this one, but it is on the sale page. So this is several wild horse families that are galloping to the water hole first thing in the morning. This was in May in Salt Wells Creek, Wyoming. And it was just a spectacular sight. It was just a heart-stopping sight. I was so excited to see this. And this piece is, it's a very long, narrow piece. It's 10 by 43 inches, and it is $375. And it's a metal print. And I think a lot of the color images look so spectacular on the metal because it brings out the color.
Carol, we have a question.
Yeah.
I can't see her name. For some reason it's coming as Facebook user. First off, she said, "My husband loves the snow scenes also."
Oh, great.
Then twofold question. Do you actually write the location on your photo under your name? The location of the image where it was taken, I'm assuming that's a question.
If she wants that and she purchases, if she sends me a message or an email, I will do that for her.
Awesome.
I could also write it for her on a little certificate if that's good too. So
Awesome.
Either way, I'm open to requests. Also, with the books, I sign every single book. I sign every single calendar. And if you want me to do any personalization, you can email me or message me. I'd be happy to do that as well.
Then the other question from her is, can you show me again the young ones you called face to face?
Yeah.
She couldn't see those very well.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's the filly on this side and the colt on that side.
That's awesome. And then Sharon, you're asking for the website. If you read the description of the live video on Facebook, you will see the link to the website, Sharon. Let me know if you find it, okay? Otherwise, I can share it in the comments for you.
And then another question I do get from people sometimes is like, so everything in the show here is as I said, a sale price. It's drastically reduced the cost. You can go on my regular website on the website itself and buy images in different sizes as well. So that's available as well. Okay, what do we got? Cloud's Pride. Okay, so this image is an older image, and Cloud is one of the most iconic, magnificent wild horses that ever lived, in my opinion. And Ginger Catherine's made him famous in the Pryor Mountains of Montana. She knew him from a little teeny colt as he grew up. And I met him in 2004 and spent time with him every year in the Prairie Mountains of Montana. And he had quite the personality. And he's posturing as another stallion is coming too close. And this is one of my very favorite images of him. And it's 24 by 36. And it is $275. So
I have a comment from Task, Carol. He's saying, have been following you for some time. Your work's stunning. Thank you so much for sharing your talent.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Blue Zeus connection. Here we go. So, Blue Zeus, as I said, is a magnificent blue roan stallion. And he got to know me, and he was like, okay, she's showing up with camera again. But he was so patient and kind with me and would sit there while I spent time with him and took lots of pictures. And I just love the look in his eye on this one. It's a 12 by 18 gallery wrap canvas for $125.
Tracy is asking if she can see Gypsy in the forest, if you have it close by.
Yes. Here she is. Gorgeous Gypsy Vanner mare. And this was, you can see the snow on her muzzle. This was in Alberta, Canada, and it was one of the coldest weeks they've had. It was, I think, -20. And we were out with the horses, and it was just a magical place. There's a forest behind her, and I just love her blue eyes. And this one is an 11 by 14, and it's 95. For Bachelor Stallions run, this is an 8 by 12 metal print. And these 4 bachelors are in Arapahoe Creek in Wyoming. And they just happened to line up so that their colors got darker. And this one is the older brother of my adopted Mustang Helios, who's now 2. So his mother was Hera, and Apollo was his father. And he's still wild and free. So they're still all out there. It's a metal print, and it hangs. And then you can see there is a larger version also that I have available. So, but these little minis are really fun. I love the metal minis. Gray Stallion turns. So this is not a wild horse. This is an Andalusian stallion. You can tell by the styled mane. He was a magnificent stallion, and we got to photograph him early in the morning in a pasture near Ojai. And his beautiful long mane went all the way to the ground. And it was just, he's a stunning horse. This is an 8 by 10, and it is, sorry, $59. Okay, and then the next one is Bubba Runs. So this I need to get close so you can see the detail. This is a metal matte print, so it's not glossy. And you can see his curls. So Bubba is a curly stallion, wild curly stallion in Saltwells Creek in Wyoming. And he's just a stunning boy. He's huge, and the ground shakes when he runs. So he's one of my favorite horses to photograph in Saltwells Creek. And this one is a 12 by 18 for $155.
Carol, we have Mike saying hello, just joining. Have you shown Gypsy in the forest? I think we have another request of Gypsy in the forest.
Oh, Gypsy's popular today.
Yep.
Here she is. Such a pretty girl. And as I said, she's not a wild stallion. She's not a wild horse, but she's a beautiful Gypsy Vanner. Let's see. Hope is the next one. Sorry, Instagram, you can't see this one either, but it is on the sale page. This is a mare in foal in Saltwells Creek, running to the water hole, and I named it Hope because the foals are the hope for the future. And my hope is that this herd does not get zeroed out. Right now, the Bureau of Land Management has issued their plans to zero out the Saltwells Creek herd and the Great Divide Basin herd. And they haven't published their final decision yet, but if they continue with it, I'm going to be on a lawsuit with the American Wild Horse Campaign, and we are going to fight it. Because what's happening right now is if they end up being able to zero out these 2 herds, there is no doubt that they will continue and try to zero out other horse herds. It's going to be the recipe for the end of our wild horses. So when I'm out there, it's hard because I worry so much for the horses. I worry that horses I've gotten to know over time and love won't be there in the future. So that's why I do what I do, because I'd like to see these horses continue on wild and free with their families. I'd like to be able to have people's children be able to see these horses in the future. I don't want them to be gone. So that's hope. Okay, Taboo Leads the Way. So one of my favorite mares, I will pick this one off the wall. One of my favorite wild mares is in McCullough Peaks, and her name's Taboo. And she is an amazing mare. She has 2 blue eyes. She is a wonderful mother. And this is her newest foal. And she's leading her family, and they're all running together. And you can see the mountains in the background. It's just a spectacular sight. And this family is quite large in McCullough Peaks because no one ever leaves. Everybody just loves the family. And normally the fillies leave when they're going into estrus at about 2 years old, and the colts get kicked out. But the stallion has not been kicking out the colts. So it's a big, beautiful family, and it's a joy to watch and photograph. And this one is a metal print. So you can see. And it is 12 by 24 inches and $250. Easier to take off the wall than put on. So, and then I thought I'd show you my first book, Wild Hoofbeats. This is when in 2004 I went out to see the wild horses in Adobe Town, and I fell in love with them. And I kept going back over time, got to know the families, and it's a coffee table book, and it tells their story. And then I heard there was going to be a roundup, and most of the horses were moved. So I went to the roundup, and I couldn't look at the pictures for 4 months afterward because it was such a horrible thing. And I actually went and saw the horses in holding, and I went to look for some that I knew in long-term holding. And I wrote the story of these horses, saying that they're uniquely suited to the lands where they belong, and they should stay there. And I tell people what they can do to help. So this was my first book in 2008, and it's available in the sale as well. So do we have any other questions, Juan?
Not for now. A lot of people saying they love the pictures. Mike saying he has a gallery wrap canvas of Blue Zeus and 2 of your books. Same for Tracy. She has 2 books and 1 Blue Zeus piece as well. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, great. So I wanted to let everybody know that the sale is I'm going to extend the sale. It's not going to just end tonight. It's going to go through Wednesday of next week. And so if you're thinking about buying a piece, go ahead. And as you notice in this sale, there's one of everything except for the calendars and the books. So if you've got your heart set on something, make sure you go ahead and get it before someone else does. And I just want to leave you with about wild horses, that the situation facing them right now is dire. But I think that if all of you and everyone else who cares about them hadn't gotten involved, we wouldn't have any wild horses left at this point. So I do believe that we are making a difference. And I think that some ground has been won this year, and we need to just keep the faith and keep doing what we can to support the horses. I strongly encourage you to follow American Wild Horse Campaign. They have wonderful newsletters and alerts I have a blog on wildhoofbeats.com where I will post where you can make comments and do different things to help the horses. And I think we just need to keep spreading the word and talking to our senators and representatives. And so that's it. And I really appreciate your support of me and of the horse and caring about the horses. I really do appreciate it, and appreciate your being on the show tonight. I really do. Anything
Awesome.
else?
A lot of people saying thank you on Instagram. One funny comment in Spanish from Susana. I can translate that one.
Oh,
She's
please.
saying thank you. I don't speak English too much. Love your works. Another person saying thank you so much for bearing witness to the decimation of our wild horses, and your photography. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, awesome. I think we're ready to wrap it up, Carol.
Okay. Thank you all for coming.
All right, I'm gonna end the broadcast here on Facebook and
Hey,
YouTube.
Instagram here.